Hi, I'm going to use this video to explain some other things I didn't explain in some previous videos. So things like the end sales. So when you make sales, at the end of every sales, you are going to end your sales year, because if you did not end your sales, it keeps accumulating. It keeps accumulating. But when you end your sales, then it archive it kind of to, so when you need that sales again, you can come here to search, because at the end of every sale every day, if we did not end this sales, tomorrow's sales is going to accumulate to this one, so we won't be able to use this date now to search for yesterday. So if you are searching for yesterday now, it's going to accumulate with today. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say here. So how do I end my sales? I'll just come here, click on the sales inventory, then click on end sales. The first question is going to ask you, would you like to print group reports? You can try it out and see what it looks like, but the first question is no. Would you like to print sales reports? This should be yes, except you don't want it, so you can try it out and see what that one looks like too. So once you click on this yes, automatically it's going to print out a summary of your sales. Maybe I'll record what that looks like in the hard copy printer so that you can see what it looks like. But give it a try, see what is going to print out. So when you click on this, automatically it will print out your report, but I don't have printer connected to this system. So the last question is, would you like to end your sales? This is the most important one. So every other question could have been no, no, no. Then this last one. So this last one is yes. Once you click on yes, automatically it ends that sales report. Give you some time, let this loading finish before you close the page. So automatically you are done for the sales of today. Let's say this is maybe 5 p.m., 6 p.m., or 8 p.m., depending on your closing time. So make sure you end your sales. Make sure that you did not carry it over. Even if there's no light, try to put on gen and just make sure that you end your sales report for that day. It doesn't really have much issue. The only problem is that any day that you forget to end your sales report, if you are ending it the following day, that means that sales of that day is accumulated to that following day. That means automatically we don't have date sales for first, we only have sales report for second, which accumulates the sales report of first and second together. So that's what it means. So I'm going to close this now. If we now start making new sales now, you see that automatically those new sales we start afresh. you know if I go to my sales list now, you can see that I have a new sales for that day. And when I want to check the previous sales date, all I just need to do is select that particular date, select the date that I want the sales to end, then I'll click on search, so to give me that yesterday date that had ended. So that's the way end sales work. Then still on this sales page, sometimes if you want to reprint, don't forget that you could easily come here, select the printer that you are using, or if it is already selected, then you double click on the item, it will bring it up. So I don't know if I explained that in my previous video. So that's how that one works. Then the next thing I want to explain in this video is your expenses. If you want to do your expenses, you go to your account chart, this one here, click on account chart, you go to expenses, then you type your expenses name, maybe fuel expenses for example. Then I'll press enter. I'll go back again to expenses. You can see that fuel expenses is already recorded. I'll put maybe even salaries as expenses. um, I'll go again under expenses. I can put transportation as expenses. So now all these expenses are added. Once I'm done, I can click on close. Don't forget account chart, expenses, then you start adding your expenses, then you keep pressing enter. So now I could come to this under these expenses, I could come to this general expenses. So when you click on this general expenses, you put your expenses amount 600 for what? You select the expense type for transportation. So this you double click. Once you click on this zoom to, it brings out the expense type. Then you double click on it. Then the description, you can decide to put a description: transport to Lagos. Then you now click on save. You can leave this blank actually, but this is important, and you have to select it. Then this one you can leave it blank. So once you click on save, sometimes if you are doing it for the first time, it could tell you this: please select cash account. This is your cash account here. So you click on this zoom to, then you select your cash account, this one. Then you can click on save again. Automatically it drops down. So these expenses to accumulate for the day, just the way this one accumulates. The expenses also accumulate for the day. So I come here, add more expenses, then select the expense type: transportation or fuel expenses. Then put fuel for one thing. Then you click on save. If you ask you to select the account type, come here, select it, then save. So it accumulates for the day, as this one is accumulating too. Expenses is accumulating. So if you open your expenses for the day, it will always tell you what expenses you guys have done for the day. Then there's a profit report here too, that gives you the profit report for the day. Once you click on this search, it will bring out the profit report that you guys have made for that day. You see that we don't have any profit yet because it's on net. So study all this. This is cost of sales. This is the actual sales that you've made. This is account receivable. This is your cash at hand. Waste and staff meal. I don't think you guys will be doing this one. This is the general expenses. This is the gross sales. This is the gross profit, and this is the actual sales. If you have customers that owes you, this is where it's going to be. I believe the accountant will understand this list better. And there's a broad view of this here. If you click on this profit report, it gives you another broad view where you can see all those long lists and all that. So this one too also accumulates for the day until, if you end the sales report now, this one, would you like to end sales by group? No. Would you like to print sales? Yes. Would you like to end sales? Yes. So once you end the sales now, this becomes blank, waiting for another day report. This becomes blank too, waiting for another day expenses. This profit report, if you click on search too, it becomes blank, waiting for another day profit analysis. So if you want to check existing profit, that's when you click on the search for previous profit for so day. But make sure you check this use date by yourself. Check this after selecting this, check this use date, then click on search. So it will give you the previous profit, but it will accumulate it by the date to that date. We ended the previous one, and this were the profit after all the testing and all that. So, and you can search too. You can click on this search. It will give you all the things you make profit on and all the expenses. So the same thing applies to the general expenses too. You can also search by date, to check your previous expenses. Just click on this go. It will give you previous expenses because now it's blank. This one that is here is still just showing you the previous day expenses. And don't forget that you can add your expenses account DL, which this one that you select. So if you have anyone that is not on this list, the best way to select it is by coming to by coming to account chart. Let me take that again. This account chart, then you click on expenses, then you start adding your expenses and keep pressing enter. So the next thing I want to talk about, I've talked about expenses, profit report, and sales. Change password. The change password is under access control. Once you log in to your own account, you click on this access control, then you click on change password, then you select your username from here. You put the old password, you put the new password, then you click on save here. So that's how to change your password. Then there's reverse transaction, but I don't think you guys have access to reverse transaction. This reverse transaction, what it means is maybe if you guys have return orders, or you made a mistake in your inventory and all those things, you want to reverse it. So I don't know, I don't think you guys have access to reverse, but then I need to explain it. If you double click on this, this sales now, let me make a sales. Okay, let me make a sales from this item, yellow pepper, which is 5 quantity. Yeah, so if I make a sales on yellow pepper, yeah, yellow pepper, sorry, if I make a sales on yellow pepper, and I say pay cash, it won't sell because it doesn't have price. So let me give yellow pepper price, that which leads me to how to change your price. Changing price. So if you come here, this place here, set inventory item price, you search for yellow pepper. So you click on it. Once this changes to yellow pepper, you know that you are, because at the point you can have a long list, then you can give it a price now, maybe 300, 600, like that. So that's how to change your price. So I'll go back here and look for yellow pepper. So yellow pepper, if I sell yellow pepper was 5 quantity remaining. So if I sell yellow pepper now, if I come here now, yellow pepper is remaining 4, and we have a sales already for yellow pepper, which is 6,000. So if I come back here now and reverse the transaction, I can see the transaction by the invoice number. I could check it by the amount to be sure that it tallies with the transaction I want to reverse. I'll double click on this. If for any reason there's a return, or for any reason you need to balance the account, reverse the transaction, so you just come to this place, reverse transaction, you double click on this, then you select this one here, reverse transaction, then you click on save. So would you like to save and reuse? You can say yes. So transaction reversed. So if I go back to my sales list now, you can see that this sales is no longer here. And if I come to the yellow pepper, you can see that it's restored to 5. So the same thing applies to actually inventory, and that takes me to how to view recorded inventory. You know that if you record a new inventory, for instance, if you record a new inventory, let's say this, if I record this for yellow pepper, I'm adding 6 quantity to yellow pepper. I had it up, sorry, this one has expiry date in it. So yellow pepper, I had it up. So if I had this up, it only accumulates here under yellow pepper. Yellow pepper now is 11, so I don't see the breakdown, though you can see the breakdown if you click on consolidated report. Under consolidated report, reports. Okay, so if you click on this consolidated report, you can search for yellow pepper 2 here. If I double click on it, I get to see the breakdown of what makes yellow pepper. You understand how the inventory came in and all that. I could see the breakdown here too. But then the best place to see that report is under this place, inventory list. So once you click on this inventory list, you can see things that you brought in by date, the invoice that you brought in by date. So if I double click on this now, make sure that you select A4 paper so that you can see it in a broad view. So I'll select this and I'll double click on this, then I can see what I brought in, like invoice that I collected from my own vendors. So that is how to get that from here. So you can set by date too, just like you set sales by date, to see all the list of your
your inventory, how you brought them in. I believe you understand this when you see it. If I double click on this now, it tells me how I brought in radio. If I bring this one now, it gives me a list of the unit price I bought it and the quantity that I brought in at that time and their date and all that. So this place is very, very important for reconciliation. Don't forget, please. So that is for that, for viewing inventory reports. So then process inventory. Okay, I've talked about reverse transaction too. I've talked about profit reports. I've talked about profit reports. I've talked about profit report. Then I've talked about expenses. I've talked about ending of sales. Changing price. I've talked about changing price. You change your price from set item inventory price. And you know, if you have services that you render to, maybe delivery as a service that you sell to your customer, so you know, you can record that from account chart. You go to your income, then you go to service. Maybe I can say delivery charges. Delivery charges. So I'll press enter. So under my income, I now have delivery charges as income, this one here. So if I go to my sales page, I can also add it to this dashboard, or I can say I want to sell wire. Then I want to come here and say I want to sell, I want to add delivery charges to it. I can say, I can even call it delivery to Lagos, delivery to this, delivery to that. So but now these delivery charges won't work because let me uncheck the check expiry date. So these delivery charges won't work because we've not set price of delivery charges. So that one, when you click on this set item inventory price, you go to your income and you look for delivery charges. So you could have as many delivery charges as you want. So I can put this one at 7,000 or 700. So which means if I'm selling wire to you, or I'm selling drinks to you, I can as well add delivery charges. And I could have multiple delivery charges, maybe delivery charges to Aba, delivery charges to Lagos and all that. So when I pay cash, it actually add it to your invoice, and that one is income. So we don't have anything to do with stock here. So that is for income services. Income services. So I've talked about income service. Don't forget to create your income from here. You come to income and you put your income name, then you press enter. Then you can set the price of your inventory from here straight up. If this is selected, then if you are setting the price of income, you click on this to list out all your income, then you click on it and change the price and click on save. If it is inventory, you click on inventory, you select it, you change the price, you click on save. So that's how to change your price. So I've talked about change price. Then consolidated report, it's here. You can view your consolidated report. View consolidated report. This. So any item you choose, you can see the sales that make up the consolidated report, the inventory. When you double click on it, further, you can even see the sales and all that. So this gives you like a broader view of your inventory. So that's for the consolidated report. I hope that is all. Okay, then there's processed inventory. I don't think you guys will need processed inventory, but in case you need it, is under here, processed inventory. If you click on it, there's a way you sell wholesales and pack item and all that. But there's a video on this on its own, so I think it's better you watch the video. This is a very, very complex part of the software. So but you can set your pack item. Maybe you are selling wholesales and you are selling retail, and you want to have all the pack item in one place. You want to have all your stock in one place, and then as you are selling retail price is different from wholesale price. You can use this part to set it. So, and that will be all for this video. But there's a video on this. If you actually need it, I can send you the video on this so that you can watch it separately. That one talks about, in short, if you check that channel, there's a lot of videos on it. So sometimes if you request for it, you just go on it and you can subscribe to the channel so that you can see other videos on it. So thank you for listening, and that will be all.